ground, boy. This ain't no cricket pitch.
You need to keep control, mate. I can't play you like this.
That's a taster of the film Singh #7. We're joined in the studio by lead actor Pardeep and executive producer Joshua Odeji. Good morning to you both. Lovely to see you. Joshua, talk to me about what you're trying to achieve with this film, because we talk about kicking racism out of football all the time, yet on a far too regular basis, we keep seeing headlines related to racism and what is termed the beautiful game.
This was the moment we dreamed of for years. Me and my close friend, Pardeep. They interviewed on national television about a film we had spent the last 3 years of our lives trying to get made.
Yeah, I would like to tell you that it was all rosy from here, and that this interview was the moment it all went great for us, and from here that it was just plain sailing until the premiere.
Well, it wasn't. And believe it or not, this wasn't even the beginning of our journey. It was barely the start.
From a filmmaker's perspective, every film is designed to generate a level of reaction. If you're watching a horror film, that feeling is fear. If you're watching a comedy, that feeling we want to portray is a feeling of laughter and lightheartedness. But with this film, what we want to do is stir up a conversation. What we're realizing with the state of racism at the highest level of football in the UK is that people tend to have the conversation very briefly and then it goes away. What we want to do is have people have the conversation about racism at not just the grassroots and semi-professional level, but across all levels of the sport at the for a longer period of time. And so and what we want to do with the film is make sure that we find a constructive way of addressing the issue, indefinitely.
Pardeep, it's interesting, isn't it? Because there are a large number of black footballers within the Premier League and the game in the UK. And it's interesting because a lot of people say, where are the Asian footballers? Because, British Asians make up around 7-8% of the British population, yet you don't see that reflected in football.
Yeah, this is true. And I think it's just a case of British Asians, they don't even get anywhere near, like scouts, for example, to even get the opportunity to play at the highest level, and that's one of the problems that we looked into.
It's interesting, isn't it, Joshua? Because if you go to any school up and down the country, it doesn't matter the colour of your skin. All kids are playing football, and that's boys and girls. But it seems as you go, as you get older.
That was footage from an interview that we got of pretty much first ever national television interview at.
That was our first.
Sky News.
That was first.
And it was a very big deal. I mean, this was prime time television on the news, and we had made this constant trailer. I think we did that for like $1,500, did we?
Less than that. I actually think it was less than £1,000.
Yeah,
that we made that trailer for, and it did well.
Yeah,
it did really well. I mean, it got us onto Sky News, got us onto Sky Sports, various BBC radio stations, Leicester Mercury. Like it did. They did really well. And then you would think from that point, as anyone would, just in that sort of position going, okay, we just made it on primetime news. That's it. Now you're going to make the movie. You're well on your way. Everything's going to be fine from here on. But that wasn't quite how it happened, was it?
Yeah, you'd think it would be plain sailing from here. So just a bit of context. Pardeep and I are filmmakers. Well, we like to believe we are. But we're two regular guys from Leicester. Well, I'm from Nigeria. I like to think of myself as a citizen of the world, but people that know me know I'm just a regular guy. I talk too much for my own good. And some people say that's the only quality you need as a producer, as a film producer. And once upon a time, I met this fine gentleman over here, Pardeep Chera, and he told me about a movie idea he had. He also happened to be an aspiring actor. He'd been around the block, done a lot of auditions, and we met. And it was kismet.
Yeah, at that point, I had, it was a curious. I think halfway through my audition journey.
Yeah.
Before that came to an end, and I realized that look, this isn't going to be the way. We met at Curry's, and it was strange because it was kind of like fakes. Like we it was one of those things where we had to meet, you know, producer, actor. I had an idea for a film. He had all the skills to make it happen.
Yeah.
And we met up. I told him the story. I told him what it's going to be about. And just like that, he was very happy to take part in it, loved the story. And then now we got to this point where we were on Sky News, we were on Sky Sports.
Yeah.
We really got it to that, you know, that thought.
Exactly. And for a lot of people, anyone listening to this or watching this would think, this is it. We made it. This is the pinnacle. But I got to tell you, this was, believe it or not, just the beginning of what could only be described as a marathon of a journey. And that's why we're here. And that's why our show is called The Outsider's Journey.
Yeah.
Because make no mistake, we were, and still are, outsiders.
Yeah. As two filmmakers from Leicester, it's hard enough in film as it is, but when you're from a place where, you know, it's not really known for film, it makes it, I would say, a lot more difficult to actually get somewhere in this industry.
Yeah.
Like when you're from here, and you're trying to make a film set here as well, not in London or anywhere that's a bit more known in the industry, but Leicester. Yeah, very few films are actually made.
Maybe one in the last half a century.
Yeah, like a handful. There's some scenes that,
I mean, major feature film, like national cinematic release.
Yeah, and even then, I think it's just scenes. I don't think there's entire film.
Entire film? No. In a place.
Well, like the majority of the film. I don't think that's a thing.
The East Midlands is, the East Midlands of the UK is, you know, for anyone watching outside the UK or listening outside the UK, the East Midlands is like Utah, and London is like Los Angeles or Hollywood.
Pretty much.
And that's the distance. It's like two dudes from Utah trying to make a Hollywood movie. and nothing against Utah. I'm sure they have like thriving film scene.
Like, imagine them trying to take Hollywood and taking it all the way over there.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing here. We're trying to get what they got in London and bring it over here to
Exactly. We're two guys all the way out in the nosebleed trying to make a movie in the big time. And that's our journey, and that's what our podcast is about. And you might be thinking, well, this sounds interesting, but I mean, I'm sure you guys are only just, 2 years or maybe even a year to your journey. Why make a podcast? But no, this has been, and for the sake of you wondering, how many episodes could we do here? And you're thinking, oh, they must be really, starved for episodes. No. This is year 8 of this journey.
Yeah, just about year 8 of Singh number 7.
Yeah.
But I started acting when I was 19. So it's been, that's now 13 years.
Wow.
That's now 13 years in the industry. And it all started with things like, obviously auditions, as most actors do.
I mean, we'll get to that part.
Yeah.
We'll get to that part.
We'll get to know, but what a story that is.
Exactly. And we're going to get to that episode where we talk about Pardeep's cameo in a television commercial and several other projects.
A few bits here and there, but nothing there.
So this is our journey. And look, it's a journey of heartbreak and rejection and pitfalls. So we're going to try and keep it optimistic because I know that sounds super depressing a little, but trust me, it has been one hell of a journey. And we could have called it the process, the outsider's process or the outsider's attempt, but it really has been.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. So Pardeep, why don't you share about your early days going on trials in the area, trying to get into football. Let's start.
No, that's even before acting now. This is even before that. So yeah, this is such a long time ago now, but I just remember I really enjoyed played with our friends all the time, especially in the summer, as soon as school or college was finished, wherever I was at the time, straight out, straight to football, Saturdays, straight to the park with the guys and play. And I just love playing football. Yeah. That was it. That's one thing I knew at that time is I love playing football like many people do. And I decided I wanted to trial. I wanted to see if I could, do something with it. Obviously, there's always that dream in the back of your mind of, can I make it pro? Exactly. Come on, those things. Everyone has that. Everyone has that. Every kid has that dream. But it's realistically, I was thinking, can I just do something with this?
Yeah.
Even if it's not anything huge, just like we mentioned before, semi-pro or somewhere in the lower leagues, just play on the sides, just because I like playing. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to play.
Yeah.
And maybe just get a bit of recognition for the hard work and that I put into it. But yeah, it didn't really go anywhere. In the end, I was just playing with like mates in the end of it.
What was that transition to go from, realizing the football dream, everyone had that dream, to saying, I want to write something that, inspired a little bit of that element, and I want to write the script. So what was, take us through the beginnings of writing the script for Sing Number 7 and the process, of writing the story, building Jasdeep Singh, the character, and pretty much the world around.
Okay, so with Sing Number 7, at that point, this was now years later. So I had been in the acting industry, the film industry, for a long time. And it got to a point where I was about 25, maybe 26. I had looked back from when I started, when I was 18, 19 years old. And I thought, well, okay, I've done maybe a handful of projects. At this rate, it ain't going to happen. I can keep doing this, and I can look back, 20 years will go by, and I'll be like, okay, what do I have to show for those 20 years? So the way it was going, I wasn't too happy with it. So I thought the only way to actually do this is to make something of my own. And that's where the idea of Sing Number 7 came in, because it's one story that was always on my mind that I really wanted to tell.
Yeah.
And it's not just what I kind of went through. It's also about what other people went through. I heard so many stories growing up about not just British Asians, but black people, even white people who were like treated unfairly, girls as well who were treated unfairly in football. You hear about these things as you're growing up, and then for me it was kind of like I wanted to tell a story which, you know what I mean, which could reach out to those people, where these people could connect with people who have always had like a dream or a passion for something and always felt like they didn't get that fair shot.
Yeah.
Because that's all we really want, is just a fair chance at something. I felt like I didn't get that. And I think there's many other people out there, even if it's not football, it could be anything.
Exactly.
Where they just feel like they didn't get a fair chance.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what sparked it.
Yeah.
At the beginning. And then I took the stories that I heard over the years about what these people have been through.
You sort of amalgamated.
Yeah, whether it was British Asian, whoever, and then what I went through as well.
Yeah.
And then I put it all together into this story and thought, okay, how can we get this across in a very powerful way to tell this story and to explain what some people go through.
Yeah.
Not just sport, but in life.
Exactly. I mean, for me, the one thing that always fascinated me about Sing Number 7 was that the story feels like a microcosm of just wanting to, being set in a local town about a local lab. But if you think about it, it's not just about the locale. I mean, Leicester as a setting is, for me, absolutely perfect because it's the ultimate underdog city in, and it's an underdog story. But for anyone who doesn't know this, Leicester City Football Club, the local team, local football team that played in the Premier League and now back in the Premier League, won the league in 2016, I believe.
I think 2016, it was around that time, yeah.
At 5,000 to 1 odds.
Yeah.
It would be like, if you want to use American terms, it would be like the Cleveland Browns winning the Super Bowl. Anyone, for any American listeners, or Nigeria winning the World Cup. That
chances, yeah.
The chances were that low. And they won it. They won it all.
Yeah.
They played exciting football and no one saw it coming and they were absolute underdogs. And a lot of people saw it as a flash in the pan moment, like just those once in a lifetime moments. And I just, it was one of the things that drew me to Sing Number 7 because for me, it felt like someone looking for his once in a lifetime moment. Trying to get that and make that happen. So, Pardeep, what was that process like for you, when you eventually met myself? Where were you at? And, why did you feel like it was the right connection for us we were the right fit to work together on the project?
So, at that point, I had only just finished, or I was still working on the very first script.
Yeah.
So it's still quite new.
Yeah.
There was a lot that needed doing, and even after that point.
Yeah.
All I knew was I want to tell this story, and because I wasn't a producer, it's kind of like I don't know quite how to do it. I don't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
But I know I want to tell this story. I know I want to make this film. That's all I knew at the time. And then in came you, Josh, the producer, goes straight through the front door at work in the same department that I was working in.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, then this sounds good. The enthusiasm he had for just for film and acting and everything like that, it was like, yeah, I think this is definitely the guy.
Yeah.
We've met for a reason. I truly believe that.
So to give a bit of context about where we were and the place we met, I was working in comms and sales for Dell, and Pardeep was also working in field sales for, was it Microsoft or HP at that time?
One of them. I don't know which one.
Exactly.
It's one of them.
So that's how we met, and we sort of met in that store environment. And to give a shout out to them, this was Curry's PC World. Was it Curry's PC World?
I think back then it was. Yeah, it was definitely sitting on there.
Leicester Foss Park. Shout out to Foss Park.
Leicester Foss Park. Yeah.
Yeah, and for any of the locals, they know what we're talking about. Foss Park is like this massive retail store. It's like a mall. It's not really a mall. It's like an open area.
It's an open area with loads of stores. Yeah.
With loads of retail. Right? We met in that store, and we were both working in that environment, and obviously we were doing our job. Selling computers, selling software, working with customers, working with local staff. And it was a very surreal store because there were loads of, brand representatives always in the area trying to promote their little products. And that was really the context of how we met. And we just sort of got to talking really about, so what do you do outside, outside of this place? What do you do outside the whole tech environment and the retail space? And Pardeep said, I'm an actor, and my real passion is acting, and I'm writing a screenplay at the moment. And he sort of took me through the whole actor spiel and said that actors go to a lot of auditions, work out. Well, what's really fascinating about that, some of the stories you told me about the fact that you had to wake up like in ungodly early hours in the morning to get to auditions, to travel across the UK.
It's because a lot of people in the industry would know, most auditions, like 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be London. And as someone from Leicester, you've got to go. Like you've got to find a way to be there. It's either if you can stay at a friend's place overnight, if you've got a really early one. Shout out to Kishan, who always let me stay over when he could. Really appreciate that. And you just get up whenever you need to get up and you go down. And it was, for me, because trains are expensive. They're crazy now. Yeah. Trains are insane now. Yeah. But even back then, I think it was about £50 at the time. And that was to get a return ticket from London each time. Wow. And then I had to wait till 7 p.m. as well, I think, to get that train back because it was off-peak hours. So I'd be there the whole day. Yeah. And it would take me a couple of hours to actually get to the place, to audition, and then to come back. That was trains. So that was when the auditions were in the middle of the day. But then that wasn't really sustainable because I was only working part-time at the time. Yeah. I had to choose between, okay, do I want to work Monday to Friday full-time, get some money coming in, or work part-time, which meant weekends flexibly, and obviously you're going to make a lot less. But I needed that time in the week free to be able to go to auditions. Yeah. So that's what I did. Like I really went for it. I fully committed myself to it. So it meant driving. Yeah. To save money, it meant driving down the moment I could. And that was 2.5 hours down there. Park at my friend Kishan's place, shout out Kishan. Park there, where he used to live, in Uxbridge. Yeah. And then it was, I think, about an hour from Uxbridge on the underground to get to Central. Wow. To spend 5 minutes in a room with a casting director. Just literally 5 minutes. Sometimes not even that. Sometimes it'd be 2, maybe 3 minutes. And then I'm on my way back. So it would be 6 hours of traveling to spend 5 minutes max in a room
In a row.
with a casting director, producer, whoever it was,
Yeah.
to try and show that I was capable of doing what needed to be done, whether it was a commercial or a film.
Yeah.
And that's how it went for years and years.
And you did that for
I did that.
6, 7 years?
Yeah, no, I was 19 when it started. I stopped when I was 26, 27.
Yeah. So, yeah, about 6, 7 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
quite a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
closing on 10 years it was before I thought, okay, this isn't working.
Wow. So you could tell straight away that, Pardeep earned his stripes as an actor. He just wasn't a guy who just woke up one day and decided, oh, I'm going to be an actor. No, you went through.
I went.
You were in there. So, Pardeep was basically the guy, he was the guy. He was earning his stripes. And that's really where we were at. And
Yep.
it was a long, long journey and a long, long time. But we, for me, after meeting Pardeep and he's showing me that original script for Singh number 7, and it was a great script. I loved the script. I decided to pen a second draft. And, to be honest, as a producer or as someone who worked in the film industry, I actually started my career at a company called Affectious Films. More on that later. Great company, amazing people led by, two, for me, amazing filmmakers and two best friends who started off. They started their company as teenagers who met in school, and they just turned this into this fantastic commercial and education promotional film studio. And they're based in Leicester, just outside Leicester. And that's where I started. I started off as a social media manager there, a bit of an internish kind of character, and then it moved on to project developments, really. Basically, that's where I started my career, as a sort of like a project developer, effectively a junior producer, and social media manager, and, also helping with post project marketing and more marketing in a bit because because marketing has sort of become my career now because it allowed me to continue in that creative sphere while still, producing in my spare time and balancing that. Because I tell you what, for every single person out there in the industry, there comes a time where you can work your way through the industry and you got to get a day job, or you do a bit of both. And I think that's what we've really done, and we love our jobs, we love our careers, but this journey was, has been such a cathartic experience for us that we just had to keep going. So the script was, let's dive into the script. What was my process for the story? So I loved the initial draft. I know that, you put your heart and soul into the initial draft. So what I wanted to do was balance it out a little bit. So in Pardeep's initial draft, our lead character, Jasdeep Singh.
There was way too much football in it.
Way too much.
I think it needed some, There was a lot of, as you can imagine, like as someone who's very passionate about it, there was a lot of football in that.
And I think it was. I had to basically work out a way of how we could ground it.
Yeah.
Because it went to some really amazing, crazy places.
Yeah.
Like Pardeep's initial draft, I think he ended up playing at Old Trafford.
There was
Then even a Wembley.
the big game. Yeah, the big game was at, I think it was at Old Trafford.
Old Trafford.
The big game where
Manchester United.
we can't reveal too much about what's going to happen in Sing number 7 at the moment.
Yeah.
But originally the big game was at Old Trafford.
Old Trafford. And I think there was a post-credit scene in Wembley as well.
Yeah, because at the time we had just, I think, we had a meeting with the FA.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I was under the impression that, no, if we want Wembley, we can get Wembley.
Yeah.
So I wrote it into the script. And
More of Wembley.
we'll
We'll go over all these amazing stories in subsequent episodes. We have a lot of really, really good moments in these stories, in these meetings, sessions we had. We'll cover them in subsequent episodes. So that was my job, grounding the story, taking away elements that, for me, felt a little bit fantastical, but still great for the story's synergy and its evolution.
just need reworking a bit.
Exactly. So that's what I did. And after that, after writing pretty much draft 2, we were in this position where it was about making a treatment. and getting that treatment in a good place, putting together all the elements. We even did a photography session. We did like a principal photography session.
Yeah, we made like the initial the initial image for it.
Yeah, we did that in Pardeep's parents' second living.
Just in the house, the little room on the side.
We set up like a backdrop, and like we had like rigging, and we had Pardeep literally lights and everything, and we had like a poster shot.
A lot of the stuff that's in this room right now, the cameras, tripod, and a couple of these lights are the same ones that we used.
We set up, and we'll put a still up to overlay this to show you some of those shots from the initial concept trailer here that we did. So let's talk about the concept trailer. How did that idea come about? Like when we decided, okay, we've got this script, we've made a little bit of a treatment. What can we do to maybe get some industry press attention? And we decided to make a concept trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that, I think it was the right move at the time.
Yeah.
Because we had what was our second draft, maybe our third draft, and we had a treatment of some sort. At that point, it wasn't the neat one at the time.
Nope.
It was like a very much a work in progress.
It was a concept trailer, and a concept treatment where we used still photography of, believe it or not, Alexis Sanchez. Remember Alexis Sanchez?
Yeah.
He went from Manchester United.
Yeah. We did editing. We using editing, but
Alexis Sanchez shot of him pointing to the sky doing this unveiling photo, and we used it as our sort of like a teaser concept. But any eagle-eyed Manchester United fan would be like, yeah, that's not Pardeep. The back of Alexis Sanchez's head looks a little bit like Pardeep from behind.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed when I was making that concept poster.
So it worked. It did the job. It did the job. But yeah, the concept trailer, it was needed because we had nothing visual to actually show people who may have showed a bit of interest in it. And the concept trailer is what then got the media attention.
Exactly. That didn't segue into that because we decided to shoot a concept trailer. So before we get to the media attention, we could talk about the process of making that concept trailer, because I'm forever going to be proud of that concept trailer and how cheaply we shot it and how we had to scrounge, beg, borrow, steal to sort of just, put together that trailer. We shot that for just under $1,000.
It was under £1,000.
Under $1,000. And if you look at that trailer, I mean, you think, oh, wow, this looks a bit cinematic. I really enjoyed that concept trailer.
Yeah.
And so the idea of putting together the concept trailer came about, and we did this thing where we knew that we could get a stadium or something like that. So I think it was your old high school that we used for...
No, so two of my old teachers were there. Two teachers from, at the time it was Lancaster Boys. It's not just boys anymore. They've completely changed it. But it was two of my teachers who were there, who were now at Brockington College.
Yeah.
Which is in another part of Leicester. And when we approached them, because I play football there sometimes.
Yeah.
I used to play football there.
Yeah.
Every week. So I thought, well, they've got a nice pitch. Let's see if we can use it.
Yeah.
So I wrote to them, and then they were one of the few people who actually, called and started asking questions.
Yeah.
And then when I actually went for a meeting with them, my two teachers are there.
Yeah.
From Lancaster Boys. So then we caught up a little bit, and then we got permission to use the pitch. So that was obviously the most important thing that we needed. We needed a pitch to film the concept trailer, and we ended up using that place.
And that was amazing because they didn't just give us access to the pitch. We even got we were allowed to use the changing and shower rooms.
Yeah.
So shout out to the college, because
Brockington College. Yeah.
They were absolutely amazing, and they let us use their facilities to double as our stadium, really, and the changing room to double as a football team's dressing room. So that was how we were able to get our location. And after that, we then pretty much, gathered a few friends here and there to put together this.
Yeah, big shout out to the guys from football who showed up and took part in the trailer. I mean, they all did really well.
Well, the guy who played the captain again, Jack. I mean, shout out to Jack.
I still want him in the film, and I want him to play Captain Jack. I really hope it happens.
Honestly, Jack was absolutely amazing. I mean,
he was. He's a natural captain.
He looks like a football, like a proper football.
He's like 6'1", big guy, commanding. The way he is, like his, just his personality. He's got the leadership.
This guy's in the scripture right on the.
And that's why the captain's name in Singh number 7 is Jack, because I'm literally thinking about. my friend Jack, and I think he could play that role very well. I hope Jack do it. He gets it.
That's the last name, right? Dip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Jack Dip. I mean, yeah. He fit the part, perfectly, and we got a few other Pardeep's friends,
Yep.
I had, we had one of our fellow reps from Curry's in there. I think Justina Moreno. Shout out Justina
Yeah,
Moreno.
a few of them there.
Francis Bomele. Justina's brother was in there.
He was in there, yeah.
And of course, a few of our fellow Singh number 7ers.
Charles was in, yeah.
And Enrique Sidhu, a.k.a. Nika.
Yeah.
More on them in a bit. We're going to be dedicating a whole episode to those two.
Yeah.
As well. So
Oh, they were in there.
we were all there, the whole team, and we took this nice commemorative photo of the whole crew.
Yeah.
And we'll have that on camera in a moment.
Yeah.
So that's us. That's the team, and that was the concept trailer. We shot that pretty much in one night.
It was, yeah, pretty much a day, yeah.
In 2 locations, and obviously you see the concept trailer from the Sky News footage that we just played you.
Yeah.
So and I mean, I don't know about you, but I thought that was something for less than $1,000
Yep.
with a ragtag crew, but ragtag, because I feel those guys were pros. I mean,
Semi-pro, yeah. Jack was, I think he was semi-pro.
yeah. No, I mean like the guys behind the camera are.
Oh, yeah, the camera crew. Yeah, they were pros, yeah.
They were pros. I mean, our sound guy was a pro. Our cinematographer was a pro. Our cameraman was a pro. So these were pros, and they all came in there, and pretty much we got mates rates for everything. Mates rates,
Yeah.
for all of
I
that.
think that was important. We needed that because this was coming obviously out of our own pocket to try and fund this thing. He's the editor, and he gave us a real nice deal.
Shout out to Mohammed Abadi or Mohammed Awal. He goes by either. He's got like, and he does very well on Instagram. I think he's got like 25, 30,000 followers on Instagram.
Right.
Mohammed Awal or Mohammed Abadi.
Yeah, I remember his editing was amazing.
Mohammed,
He's got some skills.
absolutely fantastic skills. He's a friend, a close associate of a very popular YouTuber named Tayo Aina. A few people might know him. He's got almost 200,000 subscribers, tons of followers on Instagram. And that's how I met Mohammed Abadi, because Tayo and I went to high school together in Nigeria. Again, I know I don't sound Nigerian, but I'm Nigerian. More of that again later about why I sound like this, but I'm a Nigerian, and I love my home country, and that's how I met Tayo. We went to high school together, and that's how I met our editor, Mohammed Abadi, and he just
happened to be amazing at what he did.
a fantastic editor, because he took pretty much our ragtag footage with a ragtag crew and all of that, and he turned it into something that looked really filmic, really cinematic, and he edited it all together. He gave it this really, really intense, cinematic visual and style, and he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
and
he did.
We got a really good, concept trailer together, and we, pretty much.
He got us to where we needed to. Yeah,
Exactly. We set it out there. We released it on Instagram, YouTube.
yeah.
The works.
Even the kits
Yeah.
were made by a friend of mine, Mark Deacon.
Yeah. You made up. Shout out.
Yeah, Deacon's Martial Arts and Fitness.
Yeah.
Who he does printing as
Yeah.
well, so he like prints T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, he printed all of those for us. To use at the trailer. So it had his logo on it. You look carefully.
Yeah.
One of the kits on one of the teams, you'll see the Deacon's Martial Arts and Fitness.
Yeah. Honestly, absolutely. It really was a community effort. This concept trailer. We got friends, family, loved ones, people we met through acquaintances. All just did us a favor. Mohammed is a top-end editor, and animator, and designer.
Yeah.
And he did this for pennies on a dollar for us. So did everyone who was in our crew. So was everyone that was our extras. Jack did it for free.
All the guys did. Yeah.
All of the guys, we scrounged together. And in the end, we spent less than $1,000. And that's just absolutely amazing. And after we got the footage of the trailer, we released it to the world, and we decided, and the trailer did okay. I mean, I think it did all right on its own.
Yes, it did.
It got some pretty decent views across, YouTube.
Yeah, but I think it got more on Instagram.
Yeah.
Than YouTube.
I think it got about 20,000 views on Instagram. I think
more than that. I think on YouTube was more than 10.
Yeah.
That eventually got more than 10, and then on Instagram. I think it was more than 20,000. A lot more. 24,000 views, something like that.
So Leicester really came together for us because, a lot of that one was local people, we got a lot of love from the community, a lot of love from local, local community for the trailer. But we thought it's all well and good getting that local, recognition. It's great. But if we want to make a feature film, or at least nationally,
you need to connect to the people who can make that happen.
Exactly. So we had to go national with it. We had to go bigger. And we did. We approached, as you could see, Sky News. We approached Sky Sports.
Yep.
We approached
ITV.
BBC, ITV.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mercury.
Leicester Mercury.
Yep. BBC
Radio.
All the radio stations.
Yep. So we contacted everybody about this concept trailer, talking about the fundamental issue of Singh number 7.
Yeah.
About the fact that this was a story about a British Asian player trying to garner recognition in a sport that's loved by almost all British Asians in this country who love this sport, who love this game, and are very much, scratching their heads wondering why are there no British Asians playing in the upper echelons of the sport. And that story, for us, I'd say somebody said we got lucky, somebody say our timing was perfect, somebody say it was kismet, we just got lucky, and at that point was sort of slightly in the news.
Yeah, I guess. I think there was something that happened in football at the time where there was a bit of racism, but sadly there always seems to be anyway.
Exactly.
So
more of that.
It was one of those ones where I think there was an incident at the time, a fairly big one, and then we approached, I think, just the timing of it just timed quite well with that because it was a hot topic.
Exactly.
And then they wanted to speak about Singh number 7 and what it is that what it is that we're trying to.
So our timing was perfect with the press. We got, we were, and we sent this film out there and say, this is our story. It's a feature film. It's an artistic piece. It's not just about football. It's a beautiful drama as well. And we approached the press, and luckily for us, somebody saying, we were able to get some really positive responses from
major
news outlets. Yeah, and that sort of brings this story full circle to how we ended up on Sky News. Because after the concept trailer, which we sent to Sky News and we sent to all the major press outlets, that's really, where we were. It says that, we got invited to speak on national news.
Prime time, first thing in the morning.
We were like, we had to, I think we stayed at a hotel.
We did stay. I found the cheapest hotel that I could find.
It was in a hotel.
It would cost something like, I don't know, 40, 50 pounds. I was still working part-time at the time. Josh has his own place.
Yeah.
And, bills and everything like that. And it was just like, I found the cheapest place that I could find. You're a little worse. Remember that bathroom? Even for me, I'm not a big guy. Absolutely. You can see that. You see that on the camera.
Yeah.
I had to go down into the bathroom. That's how small the doorway was. It was really,
really tiny. It was like, it was like a hostel. It was
pretty much.
It was a very, very, very cramped hotel. But we didn't care. We were excited.
We didn't care. We were like, look, man, we'll sleep here tonight, and then tomorrow we're gonna be on the news, talking about our film. So it's one of those things that you do.
Exactly. We did that. And we got to Sky Studios in Roundtree, and, we basically got to effectively get there, speak to the producers. But what was great about it is that we did just, we weren't just there for Sky News. Sky Sports had also invited us to speak. So
they did.
Right after that interview, Pardeep also, and we'll put some footage of that on the screen as well. Pardeep also got to be interviewed by Sky Sports, who were doing this segment called Tackling Racism, talking about, again, the recent negative press and unfortunate press of incidents of racism in the sport recently. So Pardeep was also invited to speak there, and that was also fantastic because that was also really great press for us as well. So all of this just sort of came together, really. Speaking of Sky News, getting on Sky Sports, so we sort of did the whole 9 yards around Sky Studios, effectively, and I got to be there for that because effectively becoming an associate producer getting this project, getting this short, this unscripted material to Sky News and to Sky Sports was fantastic.
Yeah.
Shout out to me, Odegaard.
Yeah.
I don't,
So making that happen.
I don't know how to. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Me, Odegaard.
I do think that's.
She works in Arsenal now. She's absolutely amazing. She was the one that effectively facilitated the Sky Sports interview. You know, me, works in diversity and inclusion. She was absolutely, she really enjoyed and was really taken by the story of what our story of trying to make this happen and the story of Singh number 7 itself. So she was the one that effectively, I actually met her in central London before that interview just to talk about the film. And I was actually working at a tech startup when that happened. I was at a conference for a tech startup, and in between the conference, during my lunch break, I took a tube on the underground. And I'm like, guys, I'm just gonna go out there just to take some fresh air. What they did know was that I was gone for like 45 minutes on the other side of London to go meet me in a bar to talk about Singh number 7. I had that meeting with her, took the underground, went right back down central, right back down for the conference. And that was really the thing we had to do. And
I was there, right?
you were there.
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was there.
it was fantastic. The whole thing was just, and this was really what we had to do. We had to find moments in between our regular lives, in between our commitments,
Yeah.
work, family, everything that we had go, and we sort of just slotted this development process of this project in between all of that, really. And so that was getting interviewed by Sky News and Sky Sports. We also got interviewed again by BBC Radio,
Yeah, a few times.
and all that press was fantastic. And then we've shown you some stills and highlights of that in the frame, and you could there's several more of them of the the great press we got, articles written on ITV News, ITV News' website. I think that's still up, really.
It's all, yeah. It still up there, yeah.
All of that, and we basked in that amazing bit of press. But that 2-3 week period, we were on top of the world because we were getting interviews.
We thought that was it.
We thought
This is it. We're going to make the film. Our lives had changed.
we were on top. We felt on top of the mountain. We felt like we had made it because, oh my God, we're getting so much press. I mean, this is going to happen, And then we thought, my fiance, Stella, she one of the things she said after we did that Sky News interview was Sarah J.B., the Sky presenter who interviewed us.
Yeah.
She asked just at the end of the interview, so where are you at with the film? When's this film coming out? And I said, we're just in the middle of developing right now. We're just getting development funding. And once we do that, we're just in the middle of developing or photography or behind the scenes. I can't remember what I said.
Yeah.
You can watch the interview. It's on YouTube. And I said, yeah, we're coming out real soon. Watch out.
Yeah.
And she was like, you idiot. You should have gone out there and pitched it. You should have said, we don't have any money. Anyone who's listening to you, give us money. We need money to make this film. She was like, why did you do that?
That was pride. That was
pride. And
pride.
she said, why didn't you go out there and ask? And just after which he asked that question, you should have appealed to the nation to give you funding for the film. You felt like the film was already a done deal. And I was like, in hindsight, that's right. She's right about almost everything. And she was absolutely right.
Yeah. At that point, we probably should have asked.
We probably should have.
We didn't have anything.
We didn't have nothing. We should have asked and said, look, that was just a concept trailer. We're actually out here trying to get funding for this film. If anyone who could really help us support us to make this film, to get this film made, please, we'd be willing to talk to you. We'd be grateful for the opportunity. That's what I should have said on Sky. And hindsight is 2020. I should have said that, but that's where we were. And I didn't say any of that. I just spoke like, hey, we got a film. Check it out. When
it coming soon.
That was nonsense. That was utter nonsense. We didn't have.
We've had the words coming soon on the website and the poster for 6 years.
Well, people think that.
Yeah, they're getting that. We're thinking, okay, when is this actually going to happen?
Is this the Avengers or something? What happened? It's taking so long. But that stuff. So that was who we were. We were on top of the world. We felt like, hey, we've made it. This is it. This is amazing.
Yeah.
But we were media darlings for a minute. And, well, let's just say when we finally decided to take all that press momentum, all that amazing kinetic energy we built up with the press, to then move that over to the film industry.
Yeah, that's not didn't quite turn out the way we thought.
Exactly. Reality. And that's a big reality with a big R set in.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we'll leave it for now, for this episode. And just to give you a little bit of teaser of what's coming in episode 2. So in episode 2, we'll talk about our journey in terms of finding a studio that would be interested in developing this film with us or backing the build, talking about, the organizations we spoke to try and get traction for the film, and just looking for someone to just champion this film before, the dream just, withered and died. We wanted a champion. We wanted someone to come in with the experience and give us that chance to try and make it.
Yeah.
So that is what's coming up in episode.
That's what's coming next. In terms of the dream itself, that was obviously a figure of speech. It's not dead, but it's still very much in the making, and I hope we do get the chance to make this film. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes right now with Singh number 7. There's a lot. I can't say who, of course, but we have casted.
Yes.
The film is now cast.
Yeah.
And there's studios that we're speaking to at this moment in time regarding the film. So there's a lot going on in the Singh Warriors film. And I think we have a very good chance at doing this.
Yeah.
We genuinely do have a very good chance.
Not to ruin, the objective of what we're doing here. It says that this is not us just talking about a struggling story of how we struggled in the past. Our journey continues. That's what Pardeep.
Yeah, it's still ongoing. We don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know. And that's why we thought, let's take people back to the beginning of where we started. But the journey is still going. Like Pardeep has said, we've actually cast this film. We built a really good crew. We have an amazing director, award-winning director attached to it.
We do, actually.
So we've done some amazing work. But we want to tell you of what we had to go through and we would get.
Because it was 7 to 8 years to get to the point where we are now, where we still may not have a film. You don't know yet. And that's the way it is. We don't know yet.
7 years in development, and we're still here, and we're still making amazing progress. But our journey is so fascinating. It's still with so many amazing stories, so many funny stories, so many ups and downs. And we thought, let's take you back to the beginning and let's show you what the things we've had to do.
What we've done, yeah. But I will say that one way or another, I do believe this is going to happen. I truly believe that if we keep going, one day it will happen.
That's us in a nutshell. 2 guys who believe more than anything that if you have a dream and if you believe, even when everything is just falling hard and against you, if you have that belief and you're willing to keep out the effort, the willingness, but most importantly, the fortitude to just keep going. Yeah, when even when everyone else says no, even when the world says no, you just keep that yes in your head and keep going, even when everything is against you. And we are in that position right now where we've put this film out there to the world in the sense that we've put the story of what we're trying to do to people that we know could make this, and we've got lightning in a bottle, and we've handed it to people that we hope would see its potential. Yeah, we're in that position. We even in that position where we know it's not in our hands anymore. So effectively, that's our journey. It's a cathartic experience, and it's been an amazing experience for both of us and for everyone involved, really. And we hope that you get to join us on this, amazing.
Because I would say it's one of those things where the story is ongoing. So as the podcasts go on,
it's a roller.
The story in the background is going to be developing. So there's always going to be more to tell. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that we're going to tell is like, with it being our own experiences within the industry. Yeah. I feel like a lot of, especially young people who are trying to get into this industry, we're going to answer a lot of questions that they might have. Yeah. So, yeah.
If you're an aspiring creator in any medium whatsoever, it doesn't need to be film. It could be art. It could be design. It could be animation. This is us basically just showing you what a journey in that space could look like, especially from an outsider, and we like to think we're outsiders in every sense of the word. we're two guys, and we're effectively minorities in a lot of senses, in the sense that we are a small percentage of the film industry in this country. We are a small percentage of a racial subset in this country.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of elements in here that could really resonate with a lot of people, and we hope that you come along with us for the journey, and that's why we called our show, once again, The Outsider's Journey. So we hope you come with us, and thanks for listening, and thanks for watching.
Thank you. See you next time.